Hi everyone. Today we have Harshad Bhagwat on the call with us. He is going to he definitely has a lot of experience in selling courses and also has been a scientist himself. A transition from scientist to becoming a full-time content creator and knowledge entrepreneur and scaling it to a different level is what we're going to walk through and understand today. And he's going to talk more about how you can also build your business using courses by creating right set of funnels and right set of marketing campaigns, running those campaigns around your courses. So it's all today is all about marketing your course. And we've in the previous episode we've just talked about creating. Now we're talking about marketing and so on and so forth. So help me in welcoming Harshad Bhagwat on this second episode of Make It Happen Online podcast.
Hey, thanks, Anush. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to share my practical knowledge because it has been a journey and I have made many mistakes, but I learned from many other people. So it's my time to, pass my learnings forward. So thanks for that opportunity.
That's such a warm way of having every one of us here helping us walk through your journey. So quickly getting started, can you quickly introduce yourself in 2 minutes, and probably this is the right time where you can actually pitch your product and tell people what you do today in quick 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, Anush. So I have a very peculiar career journey. So very quick wrap, I guess. A mechanical engineer, then worked as scientist with Tata Research Center for 7 years, have many research papers, patents, but have always been an entrepreneurial in mindset. And education has been my passion because my maternal family, we are all teachers, professors, principals,
Oh,
and my father never worked for anyone else. So kind of you can say that DNA is there, education and entrepreneurship. So around 2014 or since 2014, I've been a full-time entrepreneur. For 7 years of that journey, I built WordsMaya. So I've been in online learning space for many years now. I've been following Coursera's trajectory since its first funding in 2010. And in 14-15, I started my own journey in online space. At that time, hardly there was just 2G internet with few people, right? So went through that 3G, 4G, and at that time we were selling communication skills courses and blended with teacher and trainer interaction. It was a blended model, and saw the whole edtech revolution during the pandemic. So now I'm actually even more excited about the next revolutions in edtech journey, and I would definitely be a part of it. What I'm doing now for last 1.5 years is, because of this peculiar career journey, being an employer and employee, being a scientist as well as in business development, I'm helping others in building their own careers and more particularly getting their dream jobs actually. So many of us have a very different career profiles, or they want something else. Many of the professionals are getting stuck in their career. The careers are changing, the industry is changing, technology is changing. You'll be surprised actually how many people I meet every day who are getting laid off or have faced layoff in last 2 years, and they have literally no career prospects, and that is because of their self-esteem. Okay, so this internal game as well as external game, I'm helping mid-career professionals, what I call career champions. So I'm building this career champions club, and I'm helping mid-career professionals with my online courses, coaching, and basically the community interactions of continuous learning.
okay. This sounds interesting, and this brings me to a very intriguing question that I had is what were the major changes that you saw? Like I myself was just studying, I entered in first year of my college in 2013, and I didn't even know how technology world works practically. I just had a very early exposure into computer in 2005 when I got my first PC, but there's all dial-up connection. I belong from a tier 3 town, not much of an exposure. I came
Yes.
when I understood what are the things happening around, what is Udemy, what is Coursera, and those platforms as well. How was it for you doing business in those different times, right? Today we see a very different way of doing business. How was it different then?
Yes, so I think the challenges were different at every time. Let's talk about the revolution, right? The way I understood. First, when this online learning or online education came into play, it was more of offline content pushed to online. So we saw PDFs of books, we saw some, a little bit of videos, but more of text, and then little bit of audio, right? So it was offline content being online. Then when 3G, around 4G time came, when some interactions were possible, around video calls were possible for some people, we saw trainers moving online, right? So we do not need to be physically in, as you said, the locations of premium towns, and where premium colleges. I can learn from anywhere with the same trainers. I think the major revolution we are seeing after the pandemic is, now it's, earlier I had to prove them that you can learn online. Now it's no more a obstacle. But actually, what people are looking for is the experience of everything now, right? So I feel the next revolution is more of community. So it's like content is given, the expert and the trainers are given, though they should be there. But how can I have peer to peer learning? How can I have that belonging of learning, which actually, you get in a school, in a college environment? And let me ask you, if you go back, you learned more from your peers than your professors and teachers.
Definitely.
Actually, early on, we used to look at each other only. And
True.
we sometimes, even if you go to kindergarten, they are actually not even facing the teacher. Okay. So
Yeah.
literally, I mean, so we learn more from each other, and we kind of forgot that experience in early online education game. Now it's becoming more and more prominent. So I don't know if the next will be the whole metaverse, where we'll be able to even feel each other, right? Like, it's not just chat and just a image or a plain video. We might have a full 3D, 4D experience. So I don't know how this is going to go forward. I think technologists like you will define that path. But I'm definitely excited to ride along that path.
Definitely. And this sounds interesting. Seen very less teachers. If in case I can refer to you as a teacher, because you've been in this business and teaching students in a long time. A lot of teachers or even people who are starting out as a course creator are very reluctant to, using new technologies. They're more
Yes.
comfortable in their own comfort zone using existing systems that they're familiar with, and probably very reluctant towards shifting towards a new system. How do you think that would affect them if in case they don't keep an open mind? Or what do you think is a positive side of not keeping an open mind, if there is any?
Yes, Hanush, that was my advantage. I used to say that engineer turned educator, so that was definitely my advantage. Uh, I think early on, technology was difficult. Actually, LMS, now we have so many available. You are building the next generation LMS. Early on, we had to build on that. Okay, in WordsMaya, we had to literally build. I think there was this Moodle which was very pathetic, and we had to literally build everything. Sandeep, so he was the brain behind building LMS. So earlier it was only that you have developers, then only you can do online education play. Now I think people like you are making things very easy, and that should be the next thing. I think we should not have technology as the barrier. And you just ask yourself, right now, mobile phones, why are they, we are having, I think, 2 billion people having mobile phones, 3 billion people. It's because they are user friendly, right? So I think anyone who says that I have something to share should be able to build a course. And I think it's just a matter of time now. I think they are already there, most of these tools. I think more or less the marketing side of things and the connection side of things is a bit difficult. But I'm sure it will, happen very soon. So it should not be a hindrance. But yes, definitely, teachers should not be technophobic. That's, I think, I'll put that thing to teachers. As teachers, we should be learners at the same time. So I think just be open to technology, and people like you, I'm sure, will make things very easy.
So, talking about learning, do you still keep learning new things? And what is your major source of learning these days? Where do you get your major new chunk of knowledge from?
Yeah, it's a great question, Anuj, because last 1 month, whole December, I literally measured my time. Okay, just like corporates do for their employees. I used a time tracker. Okay, and right now also, before this podcast, I put that time that I'm having the social media content time. So The reason being that at least 25% of my time should go into learning. That is my goal. Okay. And learning can be multifold. For me, I have to keep learning about careers and what are the next things happening in various industries. Second thing is about coaching. How can I empower, motivate, enable more people? That is one. And the third thing is, of course, the online part of it, like marketing tools. And we have to, keep on, every week I have to add one more thing to it. How am I learning is I'm part of a global community of coaches. So, the way I'm building it up, I'm being a part of something more, something else which is bigger than this. So I think I follow the model of learn, implement, and then teach, so I have to learn from someone, implement it, and from that experience, I'm teaching someone else. So I think I have to keep on doing that. I think the day I stop that, I think it's like the water which is still, I think I'll pick up, so I have to keep on doing that. Yes.
Makes sense, makes sense. So let's talk about your journey with Career Champion. So when did it start? How did it start? What was the trigger to do that? And what were you
Ye-
doing immediately before that?
yes, so it started, the trigger was around second lockdown, July 2021. I was still doing WordsMaya full time, but because of the lockdowns, colleges were closed, companies were not investing in learning development. So basically, WordsMaya was not able to do anything, literally. Even when we were in online learning, our customers had stopped, literally. Okay, so at that time, I'm very active on LinkedIn. Okay, so have been always been active on LinkedIn. I started getting inbound requests from people out of nowhere, really, that I'm stuck in my career. This happened. Couple of people had to close their businesses. And I started having calls with them. And later I realized that, I'm not doing anything, literally locked down, and I had COVID patients in my family. So I couldn't go out. I literally put a post, and this is interesting. Okay, Anuj, how, you get an opportunity, and as an entrepreneur, sometimes opportunities come in disguise and you just have to grab them once they come.
Yep.
I had just put a post on LinkedIn that this is a human crisis, not just medical crisis. Many of us are facing career challenges. If
True.
you just want to talk to someone, here is my Calendly link. Okay. And I posted that over 2 months, 2, 3 times. You will not believe, more than 50 people actually booked my call. Okay. It was just, for because I was not doing anything, I just offered 1 hour a day. Okay. And as an entrepreneurs, we love to network, right?
True.
Constantly. And that has been one of my strength always. And there I realized that 75% of those 50 people were employees, corporate professionals, and they are facing tremendous challenges. And I was like, okay, I never been in that zone, but I would do this. I would network. I would present myself better. I would use LinkedIn better. I would know myself better, my skills. I would do like this. Why are you not doing that? And they were like surprised. Oh, we never thought like this. How do you know this? Something like this. So, I said, okay, there is something I know which others don't even know and not even practicing. And when we decided to, I had to close WordsMaya due to many reasons. Let's keep that aside. It's not part of this conversation. So it was pretty obvious that there is a market need of mid-career professionals being stuck, and they need these soft skills actually. So I do not play in domain skills that they should know or they should learn. I'll
True.
help them with networking. I'll help them with pitching themselves, presenting themselves. I'll help them with introspection. They actually don't know what are they good at. So I'll help them with those things and getting that next job or having a whole career transition if they want to. And that's what how this is how Career Champions Club got triggered, I guess. And the whole 2022 now I've been building. Now I'm very excited for 2023.
Fair enough, fair enough. And this sounds really, really on point. Probably all of things work in the favor of this kind of a business is basically the right timing, the right positioning, and the right set of people in your network already. So helping you grow or probably helping you get at least your initial set of customers probably. So that brings me to the second question is based around the same journey of yours and Career Champion. How did you convert these people? Like I've seen India typically, a lot of people are open for free things, but when immediately when you ask to pay, they may or may not be interested. And 90% of the time it's may not. 10% of it is. So how did you get your first 10 customers? What was the journey towards that?
I mean, Hanuj, I think I haven't still solved that problem. Okay, what you touched upon is the biggest problem in my business right now, making people pay.
Yeah.
Yes, they say when they come to my webinar, free webinar, they say, I love you, but
There's always a but with
let's
that.
stay.
Right?
Yes. So I think that is the biggest worry. But I think, don't you think that is the biggest worry for any business, right? That getting
Definitely, definitely.
customers. And I think for me, getting first 10 customers was the toughest because my profile was not having any HR or recruiting experience. Okay,
Okay.
so most career coaches are from, or at least helping them with job search and all that, are from naturally recruiting background. So they say, I have taken 10,000 interviews, I have worked for 100 companies. So listen to me, I know how it works. I never had that, honestly. Honestly, actually, Anuj, I never did job search in the sense that I only have one corporate job on my profile. That also I got through networking, and never had a monster profile, never had a Naukri profile. Okay, so literally it is, but again, coming from outside is actually helping me. So the way I'm pitching myself is that because I'm not from HR background, I'm from entrepreneurial background, and because I've been an employer as well as employee, I have worked with many departments, you can say, or many roles. Actually, I know you better. I mean, I know your case better. And
True.
because I have been an entrepreneur, I know networking. Because I have been an entrepreneur, I know pitching, I know communication, I know how to convince others about yourself. And these are the things you need, don't you think? So, I think that's the point. So I think first 10 customers I got only because of LinkedIn. I just started posting on LinkedIn and gave free calls. So I think Calendly was the first tool I invested in. And I invested because only when you pay Calendly, it gives reminders to the person.
True.
Otherwise, they don't come to your free calls. So you need those
True.
reminders. So I just put Calendly link on my LinkedIn and I kept on posting something I knew about careers. And do you want to talk to me? Put Calendly link. So I think first 50, and I told you about those 50 people during lockdown, 50 more people I could meet one on one and just ask a lot of questions, just shared a lot of knowledge to them. And at that time, I pitched that you pay me certain amount and I'll give you lifetime help, in the sense, till you get the job, I'll be with you, one on one. Because I really wanted to know their journey before I put up courses and, put a structure to it. I made it unstructured deliberately so that I can quickly change my things. So if that
That
person is struggling with interviews, I'll quickly make something for him for interviews and give him one call for mock interviews. So I think early on, not having that experience, I built experience, but definitely I made people pay if I'm giving them more than 30 minutes of my time. And now even that 30 minutes of time is I'm not giving. So now they have to come through a certain funnel. But I think getting first 10, 15 customers. But I think for audience, it's always better to start something where you have experience in and you already have some audience on your social media or in your network. It's always better. But I think first 10 customers should always be through a Google form, through a free Calendly link, through a free PDF lead magnet. Something like this you should always have before, I guess, building full courses. I think you should always have first those 10, 20, 30 interactions to really know what are their key challenges. And that should be the starting point for everyone. But I think starting from your own experience and pitching to your own network is always easier to go by.
makes sense. So I this brings me to two different questions. One, obviously, like keeping it open ended gave you a lot of exposure towards how the process goes, like, right?
Yes.
So you were able to do the customer research and customer understanding at a very different depth as compared to what somebody else might be getting into, and that's, I think, it comes from your founder being an entrepreneur experience and not from
Yes.
like coming from an experience itself. So do you think that should be the first step for anybody who is starting out the course, or what should be the first step to think in the direction of becoming a knowledge entrepreneur?
Yes, I think I would put two cases here. Um, there are some people who are like me, that they have, I mean, they have something in them they want to share. Okay, it can be yoga teacher, it can be art teacher, or it can be a finance professional. I think if they haven't been a knowledge professional, or as you said, knowledge businessman, knowledge entrepreneur before at all, I think what I told you, the steps, that get that experience of 50 one-on-ones and pitch them something, as you said, unstructured, and get that 10 testimonials, I think, of people who paid and got the results which you are promising them. In my case, got their first job, I mean next job, and that testimonial was really valuable. And for me, experience was really valuable. I was taking notes and notes after every call, and I can still go back to those notes and feel, okay, what are the words they are using, where are they struggling, what did I help them with. But the second case is of people who already have teaching experience, maybe offline teaching experience, maybe corporate training experience, or maybe consulting experience. They already have the network. They are already the knowledge entrepreneurs. I think for them, it is much easier path, I feel. Then I guess I have seen people building up courses, and their first customers come from their old customers, actually, because they want to learn again. They are still struggling, or they want that recharge, you can say. So I think those are two cases for your audience, that if they have come from no knowledge entrepreneur experience, or they already have an audience.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, if in case we look into hindsight, what is something that you could have done differently as compared to what you did? Like quick one thing that comes to your mind, that this is something that I didn't do right, or this is something that could have done better, or something of that sort.
uh, there are many things, seriously. I think any one particular department, or a thing you
I
would
would
like to.
I would rather say, like, since you're talking about starting up the course, in the beginning of the journey, that's something that you didn't do right or could have been done better, or something of that sort.
uh, I think I underestimated the sales part. Okay, as you said, it's really difficult to convince people. I underestimated that. I think the funnel part, as we talked about, or we'll be talking about the funnel of courses itself. So for a long time, I had only one course, in the sense, only one package, not course, one package. So they have to take it or not take it,
Take it or
like that.
leave it kind of a
So
situation.
I think for a long time I struggled because of that. I didn't realize that. I
Okay.
kept working on my sales pitch. I kept working on the positioning. I kept working on it. But I think at the end of the day, I realized that they wanted a cheaper product sometimes. I think to get in as an entry level or tripwire. I think if that helps. So if you do not have any audience, I think selling them a very quick thing. And why I'm saying focusing on paid students is that, as you said, you get bigger audience, freeloaders, we can say. They are really in that, but they are not ready to commit to your journey or your course. So I think having that smaller item is important. And now I think I'm correcting my mistake, is not having a high end product. So I'm having so many people who have the first product and they want more from me, but I'm not able to deliver that in a scalable way, in case. So I'm building a high end product now, actually, so to take them to even the next level.
Makes sense. So I think I would like to add one more thing over here for the audience generally to understand that there will be a lot of people joining free things that you provide. Probably if it's a free PDF or a free webinar or a free video or anything. But as and when you introduce money, probably 90% of them won't be visible to you any longer. So just don't build your business on top of estimation of a free product that you provided. Rather build your business on people who pay for your product and follow their advices rather than following of advice of people who are not going to pay for your product at all. So it
Absolutely.
probably does checks more over than the audience number on a Zoom call or on a YouTube view or something like that.
Yes.
Makes sense, and I think this really makes sense for every business out there, not just knowledge business, probably any other business out there as well. People who are starting out, they can definitely follow this advice. Coming to the next step, obviously we talk about starting, creating initial, getting 10 set of customers. How does your marketing process look like today? Like before moving to sales, like talking about marketing, how do you get your initial set of leads from? How do you capture those leads? What are the ways you use, and how do you nurture them further?
Yes. I think Anuj, you just mentioned the free leads, right? The people who haven't yet paid. I think it's a matter of sometimes, they are not convinced about you, or they do not have that need now. They might have it later.
Hmm.
So I think, if you have filtered audience, in the sense they have shown interest in that particular need, I
Hmm.
think keeping them engaged is really important, especially in online business. Because what happens is that, and especially when you're new, they do not know you, or those leads do not know you. So you let's say, I think it's called, I think 6 points or 7 touch points you need in marketing and advertising, right? I think you see a billboard, you see a TV ad, and then you see a same product in on Amazon or in DMart, and then you buy, right? Actually, so suddenly you see something, you won't buy. So you need those many touch points also. So I think what your question is about marketing, having many touch points is, I think, what you need to build funnel on. So uh, right now I'm getting inorganic, I mean, so paid leads as well. So you can say I'm running Facebook ads continuously, but organic leads also do matter. Mainly, I have built that on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, I have around 15,000 followers, and I continue to add followers, and I continue to post every day. So for last, I think 4 5 months, I've been posting every single day on LinkedIn.
That's a
Okay.
brilliant consistency out there.
Yes, because the algorithms pick it up that you are posting continuously. And as we just talked about, seeing one post, okay, people might like it, or people have just seen it. Then they see one more post, then they see one more post, they start liking it. Then they start coming to the profile, then they start clicking on the webinar link, then they start, so those touch points I keep getting. And I have seen that if people have seen my LinkedIn post and I keep posting one longer YouTube video per week, if they've seen that already, my conversion percentage is much better,
Hmm.
rather than those ekdam new leads who don't know anything about me. Unless they have a dire need, they would not take a quick decision, I think. So they would keep on checking on you and all that. So the funnel I've built is like, they come into my funnel in the sense they at least give me a email ID, phone number, so they then become lead. Above that, they are my followers, so they have followed me on LinkedIn or YouTube. These are my primary channels, you can say, for following. Above that, it's a whole world of unknown people. And I think once they have come into my world of leads, whether they attend my sales webinar or not, I keep them engaged through various things. So I use emailers continuously. So they get at least 3 4 emails from me every week. I put them on my Facebook group and a Telegram channel, also WhatsApp group. So trying to use multiple channels where everyone is at different or active on different channels. And by the way, I'm targeting 30 to 45 age people. That's why they're still active on Facebook. If you are targeting younger people, then Insta is better. But Instagram doesn't have a community model. There is no groups there. So you cannot, capture people into something. So these are the places where I keep them engaged. I keep posting things. I bring them back to my webinar. I share my testimonials. Just yesterday, someone got the job and I recorded her video. So I shared that snippet in my post. So keep on engaging. I have seen, I think just last week, someone joined my community. I think his first entry into my lead system is 1 year back. Okay. And if I see my funnel, I mean, if I see his history, he is opening every other email, something like this. So probably he didn't have need at that time. He has a need and he quickly purchases it. So I think, you need lead system, you need that engagement continuously. And especially in knowledge business, the positive or the strength you have is you should be natural at content production, right? So for a, let's say, retail business or for something, they have to produce content externally, right? For
True.
you, it has to be natural. So you have to keep on generating content and keep on engaging them. And there is a way to, keep them hungry for more, something like this. So don't give them everything, but literally give them a lot. It's not like, don't be shy of, because you have to know what people come for. If they are just coming for content, they will get it anyway on YouTube. You are not alone there, right?
True.
So they have to like you, actually, knowledge. And see, many times, see, don't you still remember your best teachers, right?
True.
So it's really true that people like the teacher, okay, or people like to believe in that this person will take me out of this problem. Otherwise, knowledge is everywhere now. We are inundated with information. In 5G now, everybody has all the information. People want a certain guidance and motivation in implementation, and that's what I'm selling. Personally, I'm telling them, you will get all the job search advice, resume, LinkedIn advice elsewhere. But then why are you struggling? Why haven't you got the job? Is because I will tell you exactly what to do, and I'll be with you till you get the job, something like this. So that is the positioning I'm trying to put to the leads. And hopefully, once they see the value, they click on the webinar and come.
So I would like to share one of my personal incident in the college. I used to be like, I'm sorry, but I used to be very arrogant then. So there was this one incident, particularly a Java professor came into our class. It's like, boss, if you learn Java today, you definitely will get $1 million job when you step out, and that's the industry. We all know Java right now is being replaced by technologies like Node.js,
Yes.
React.js,
Yes.
more like frameworks rather than the core
Yes.
technology. So I probably was not, I didn't know all of this, but then I obviously had one question to him was like, if in case that's the case, why are you a professor earning around like say 40,000 rupees a month over here and teaching me Java? Why aren't you in a company that is helping you make $1 million? So that's my basic question. Like, if you are trying to sell me something, have you achieved those goals with
Yes.
the technology that you are trying to sell, or the thing that you are trying to sell? So that was my question. I think people, the generation that is coming on now, is more and more curious. So if in case you have to be relevant for a longer period, you have to be definitely be able to answer the curious questions. Otherwise, they will be like, okay, this is also some other person selling something else and stuff like that, right?
No,
What are your
Anuj,
thoughts on this?
you really stressed upon a very important point. See, now it has become easier to share your knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And that is where I guess coaches, trainers have to separate themselves from influencers.
Yeah.
Okay, so see, anyone can just literally read a blog and just copy some of that, and now you have chat gpt, so you do not have to even
Exactly.
copy. You can make chat gpt write content for you and just to speak it out.
Yeah.
And then this person today is talking about topic A, tomorrow suddenly he moves to topic B, topic C. And then I think what you the question you asked, that okay, you're talking about making $1 million, but why are you here? Then you show me that you achieved $1 million. So I think that is where being true to your content is so important, rather than just being presenters here. Okay, because that's called as earn the right, that why am I teaching you this, right? So is very important. And I think you should separate yourself from influencers. I mean, all credit to them, but those influencers who are changing their topics every day, then I think they are just mere presenters and just trying to impress people rather than really going depth and making a transformation. So I think people want transformation in today's days, not information, right? On social media it is only information, but then it's just social media.
True.
If you want to really to sell a proper course
Hmm.
and a membership, and it's worth like 10,000, 20,000, 1 lakh. I have seen people selling 3 lakh rupees memberships. Then you need to show them the transformation, and you need to have gone through that transformation yourself, I guess.
True. So one quick question on the numbers. what is your divide between organic conversions and paid conversion? And if in case you have any idea on what is your CAC, that would be really great to share.
Yes. So I think it, of course, it lot depends on the way you have made it. So as I said, my right now my actual, I mean, organic audience which I have, taken from my previous careers is not the career professionals always. Okay, I have a lot of investors, I have a lot of entrepreneurs. So what happens, I do not come from this domain, so I have to depend a lot on paid ads. Okay, so I have seen many coaches who have that audience before, they have literally sometimes zero ads and they continuously get leads. Okay, so I think that is a main division between them. For me, I have to run ads because I do not have ready audience. So you can say 10% I get organic leads, 90% I get paid leads. And uh, if you just want to know numbers, so I run conversion ads. I don't put lead ads. So conversion ads means I get a proper phone number, email ID on my webinar page, and they have seen something and they have registered and they are open to attend that webinar. Okay, lead ads means you just get phone number and email ID. And I'm in job market where I mean, everyone is in job market, like, and sometimes you even get electrician who wants a Dubai job. I do not cater to that. He's not even English speaking, so I'll not able to even talk to him. So I have to really make sure that I'm targeting right people. So because of all that very strict targeting I'm doing actually on Facebook, I get like 30 rupees to 50 rupees per lead on Facebook. So I keep getting leads, keep getting leads. I think from my fellow coaches, this is really good. Okay, I've worked on it, the landing page.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the targeting on Facebook ads, my of course the video on Facebook, and the landing page, how it is structured and how fast it loads, and of course the positioning. My question or my hook on the landing page, does it resonate with them to make them click on the form and give me email ID? So I think it took me some time to learn all that and experiment actually with. So a lot of early marketing dollars were wasted in that, but I think now it's recurring. So good thing about Facebook ads is once you get the hang of it, it just recurs very well, I think. So far I haven't used YouTube ads, but my fellow coaches do use that as well.
makes
Yes.
sense. And I think your conversion is definitely like the price that you pay per lead is really super low. Like we were exploring it for our business, and it was somewhere around 1700 per click, not even the lead. So that's like
Yeah,
super
I think
optimized way of doing it. Like makes sense. And how does your, like, let's get into the details of the funnel part of it.
yes.
How does your one can you walk us through one of the funnel that is best performing in your scenario? Like you might have created multiple, I'm sure. So what is
Yes.
the one funnel that works for you the best?
Yes. So I think the way I'm structured this entire funnel is the webinar funnel. So I do sales webinars. So they are 1.5 hours sales webinars. I do twice a week now. Like today is my sales webinar. Again after 4 days, I'll do one. Again after 3 days, I'll do one. So different timings as well. I try to pitch. I work for professionals, so I have to do it in evenings and on Sunday, something like this, where they are available. And around that, I have structured it. So the landing page is for the webinar, the Facebook ad is for webinar, and they click on it, they come. But what happens is that they don't turn up for the actual webinar, right? So they many times, because the free webinar, they haven't committed themselves to attending it. So if I get 100 leads, hardly 30 people come actually, right? So, and I think that is also after a lot of iterations, I worked on it. So 25 to 35 is a show up rate, you can say. For that to happen, they get a lot of email reminders from the day they registered. Let's say they registered on Sunday, but my webinar is on Thursday. So they keep getting a lot of email autoresponders, and
And
they
if in
keep
case,
getting,
yeah, if in case we want to know specifics, like, so you create a landing page, and then
yes.
once they sign up on the landing page for the webinar, how many emails do they get in the span of 3 days? Like what is the number?
Yes, so good question actually. So it's like on the landing page, they give me an email ID and WhatsApp number.
Hmm.
They get an option to join my WhatsApp group also, because in India still, emailers and WhatsApp have very different. WhatsApp is
Exactly.
still wins over emails actually. Okay,
True.
so they come to my WhatsApp group as well, but many of them don't for many reason. But email everyone has to give. So from that day, they get one email a day, and I, give them more information about the webinar. I give them what I'll cover. I'll give them some past case studies. So, bring that. I give them a form to ask questions to me so that I will know what they want to hear or what they want to get from a webinar. Same thing I do in WhatsApp group also. I keep sharing. Of course, the WhatsApp will be more audio visual content, but I'll keep getting them interested or curious about the webinar, and getting them to know that, oh, I'm going to cover which they need, so making them ask some questions for that. So this increases the show up rate. And of course, the 70% people who don't turn up, actually many times I get the next, they come for the next webinar. Okay, so that's what retargeting is all about, right?
And how do you
Retar
how do you keep in touch with them? Like I understood
Yes.
the first, yeah.
Yes, so retargeting, of course, not the Facebook, ads retargeting. I'm talking about making sure the email ID we have. So keep them engaged. So after the webinar, see, suppose the way I've done is that now let's say the Thursday webinar happened. After the webinar, again, two branches happen in the funnel, right? So the people who attended the webinar, they get 3, 4 more emails. Okay,
Okay.
making sure, they are still, they know more about it, or, all that. And those who have missed the webinar, actually I make them come for the next webinar, or at least follow me on LinkedIn or YouTube. So those 7-15 days are very important, when they still are knowing, or I am in their mind share I have. Okay, and same thing on WhatsApp as well. After the webinar ends, I keep them linked for the next webinar. I share some more information. And again, this is where the social media content helps. Like, keep on sharing them more information. So literally, you should not expect them payment immediately. I think giving value, I think, which is the part of your podcast also, that just keep on giving a lot of value, is like they have to buy you actually first.
Yep, yep. So, how does the number look like then at the end? So, just step one is where you get 100 leads, say for example, then you get 35 odd people attending your webinar,
Yes,
and then
yes.
around a third out of this 35, how many actually convert to a paying customer?
Yes, yes, yes. So these are the numbers I track. Yes, actually, to tell you, uh, for every webinar, I track 25 numbers, okay, metrics actually, from the Facebook ad level to landing page to actual webinar registrations, how many came, and during the webinar, how many stayed till the end, and how many listened to my, because the webinar is structured that 1 hour is full of value. I have to tell them how they should do job search and how I can help them, or my students do job search. And the last half an hour, I ask them the permission that, do you want to know how I help other career professionals, or do I have the permission that I tell you more about my paid coaching program? If they say yes, and many people leave after that, and it's fine, like they got the value, they might come back. But those people who stay for the sales webinar, then that is where, so
And how is the ratio?
so far my conversion has been 5 to 10% of people who stayed for the pitch. I
Okay.
think if I reach 10%, I'll be definitely, I'll be very good profitability, if I 10% of actual conversion for the webinar. Okay, and these rest 90%, basically you have to loop them. As I said, they and actually many times they come back for the next webinar.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And like we did walk through how did you start get your first 10 customers, and then we walked through how do you market your course today, how does the funnel look like. So just to summarize the funnel part of it, you create a very good landing page, you give them a free sales webinar, and between that you nurture them by emails, and then you at the end of the day, if they get converted to a paying customer, good enough. Like on an average, if you get 100 leads, you convert around 2 to 3 folks to pay at the end of the whole
Yes,
funnel.
exactly,
And if
exactly.
people who don't get converted, they get forwarded to into different loops where they keep on getting emails from you. And so that's so what are the number of audience that you've touched till now? So what are the number of leads that you got in your career till date?
I think I have around 7,000 leads now in my email system. They keep on getting, but of course, there are like tags added in the sense they have attended, they have not attended. Around 2,000 of them have attended my webinar. At least, some part. We don't know like how much, but yes, some part they have bothered to come in the Zoom meeting at least. And there are people I track separately who were there during my offer. Like, so I track them separately. So
Okay.
those are, I think, 400 or something. So, but I not because from 2000 they are not 400. I think I started tracking them late.
Yeah.
But yes, so yes, you have to keep on doing it. Yes, so it
Makes
needs
sense.
a lot, and of course, it needs about targeting also. So many people leave they unsubscribe, they leave the WhatsApp group. I think that's good. I think the filtering is required constantly. People have to leave your system also. If they're not interested, it's better not to focus on them as well.
And how do you qualify them that they are not interested? What is the
I I mean, they should unsubscribe me, honestly. They should leave my WhatsApp group. Many times they actually reply to me, I do not want your emails and all that. But I think, keep on giving value. I mean, don't be silent. I think if they do not want, they should leave your room, right? Like literally.
yeah.
You're see, the way I think is I'm a knowledge giver. So whether you pay me, and actually sometimes I say that in the webinar, whether you pay me today or not doesn't matter to me. You have come to my world. But actually, if you pay me, it will matter to you a lot because you will be on a better path of, something like this. So I have to keep on giving things actually.
Makes sense. So, summing it up with two last questions. One, how does your tech stack look like? What are the tools that you use?
Yes.
And what is your spends on tools? And then you've already mentioned your marketing spends. And what are the other additional spends that you see while running this business on your own?
Yes. So the way I have looked at technology is like, yes, there are tools and there are like Indian tools, American tools, and their cost structures are different. I think because I've run businesses before, I look at like tech as if like I'm replacing 2-3 human beings, 2-3 people actually, right? Like you have to look at tools that way. That are they really good? Are they fast? Are they automated? And they are saving my time, and actually I'm not paying. I do not have to pay an operation. I mean, we need operations person, but messaging people, I mean, emailing every day, there should be a lot of automation. So I use Optimize Press as a funnel builder, page builder, which is a WordPress builder actually. um Bluehost for this website hosting. I do not have a lot of traffic. Later I might need separate hosting, but right now it's shared hosting. ConvertKit for email responders. So ConvertKit is kind of my CRM also. All I was saying, how many attended, how many missed, all that is tagged in ConvertKit. So it's kind of, I get more information about people as well. Yes, of course, WhatsApp and all that. I think I use Teachable to host my courses, and Zapier I use a lot to connect between all these things. Okay, so a lot has been connected. Zoom is connected. A lot of Google Sheets get spread. Google spreadsheets get added. Once someone registers, I know. When someone pays, I know. Razor Pay, someone pays, automatically they start getting emails from me. They get a receipt. A lot of automations have done. So even if I have a backend operations person, she has to make sure this is running well. She doesn't have to do a lot of tasks, honestly. She has to make sure, like, more human component she has to do. Whatever it's like repetitive should be done by tools, I think. So the tool spends are many, but the good thing about tool spends is that if my even if my number of students increase, the tools cost don't increase in proportion. Okay, they're highly disproportionate. Okay, so early on, yes, the first few months I was thinking, I like whole my revenue was going into tools, something like this. But now it is, I think, ideally more than 10% of revenue should not be in tools. But if you think about it, if it's like 20K, 30K, or even if 50K at scale, it is actually, one or two operations people you are definitely like saying. It's because this business has to run like as if you're a single person, self-employed. You don't know, you should not have a large team, honestly. This is not that kind of business. I have run that kind of business which is operations heavy. I think I tried to make it more automated this time.
Okay, makes sense. And so, even after using all of these tools, putting it all of this together, what are the top three challenges that you still face in your journey in terms of tech or in terms of conversions that you would want people from community to help you probably if they have a solution? Or people reach out to you say, okay, boss, we have the solution for this. What are those top three challenges that you would want to put forward?
I think conversion will be the topmost challenge. I think you ask any businessman, I think sales and marketing will be the topmost challenge he or she will say. So same with me, that uh, is my positioning strong? I mean, I feel bad why people leave in between, my webinar. So what can I do to make sure? And it is more of breaking their inner resistances, that what are the questions I'm not answering? It's not about payment. It's more of, why am I not helping them? Why have they chosen to leave? If they are not at all my audience, then it's fine. But many times they are my audience. Many times they are looking for a job. They are mid-career corporate professionals. Then why are they not convinced by me? So, these are the questions I ask a lot for myself. So from the community, when you come to my LinkedIn profile, when you come to my landing page, if you can maybe message me saying, Harshad, this is what I didn't understand, or this is, I think you're missing out, I would be really grateful.
And anything at the tech end, is there anything that is something that is challenging?
uh, no, I think the second challenge, honestly, is time. It's really a lot of things as a single founder, a single self-employed. I think it's constantly my rush is against time. So I think the tech, if it's been so easy that it saves me 1 hour, I'll always be ready to pay for that technology, like that. Really, I mean, if it's saving me 1 hour every week also, I think I'll spend that 1 hour on my content with my students, maybe producing more courses. My real production unit should be more than the tech. Tech is like the foundation, but it has to like literally be no maintenance required. So I think more and more tools evolve, I'll be I think
Your
happier.
tech seems scalable, stable. What is that one thing that takes up the maximum amount of time when it comes to tech part of your business?
Um, I think, there are still things which need, automations. We have to connect between things. I think because I'm doing it myself, I think it's not about challenge. I think it's, as I said, the time it takes and making sure it is running well, making sure, uh, many times these small things here and there, or the way you thought about that logic, it is not running in that. I think, but it's not, I mean, it's a continuous learning thing, I guess.
So if I were to put it in a proportion, then your time is spread across like 50 to 60% in your production. Uh, and
It should be. It should be. I'm
it's
still
not.
getting there. I think I would be. My dream, I'll tell you, Hanush, that my dream is that 70-80% of my time should be either I'm learning from someone or I'm teaching someone,
Okay.
because that is a real production, right? My input should be learning time. I'm learning new things, I'm being ahead of my students, and I'm passing it on to my students in some way, through sessions, through courses,
Hmm.
and let my, I mean, tech part, let my operations, a lot of support requests come from students, all that. Or actually, honestly, tech side, my students sometimes do not understand how to onboard and all that. Like even tech should not be just thought from my end, because once I'll learn and I'll be used to it. But every time I want my students to onboard to Teachable, onboard to something, I think they face some challenges and support requests come. Social media, I have to record something, but then a lot of post processing and posting. So the day I will be there, that my team takes care of all other things, I think the day I'll be happiest and I'll earn most money, because the core business is learning and producing more content and teaching, I mean, empowering and giving away more things. I think that is the business we are in, honestly. It's like I'm a mechanical engineer, so the core business of, well, let's say automotive, is how much material you're bringing in, how many cars you are producing out, right? Like that is should be your core, not the HR and legal, and those should be 1% to 5% of your expenses, right? So the day I get to that stage, I think that's my dream, I guess.
Makes sense. Makes
So
sense.
your tech should be like easy for me, also for my team, but also for my students, who, and I think many of the audience, their audience might be mothers, literally, right? Their audience might be, literally totally non-tech people, in the sense they're drawing teachers, like literally, like, or sometimes even parents and school children. So I think for them to really onboard to your system without any operations hurdle, there should not be any someone calling you and saying, "Arey, ye onboard nahi ho raha hai, ye password kahan pe hota hai?" I think that is, those 10 minutes are worst for me. I really get uh,
And
irritated when I have to waste
yeah.
10 minutes in supporting someone. So I think tech part, I think, these little things of making sure it is really easy to use.
So I'll certainly plug in my product over here because my product
Yes.
is we are learner focused. So how did we start? Is basically I was a learner myself to a coach who was teaching using different products, and that's where I was bothered a lot because onboarding was pain because it was like you enter your email ID, you make the payment, and then after 15 minutes I'll send you the password. Then you find the link in the email, go to enter your email ID, then copy your password, and then I ask you to change the password because I don't want you to keep an unsecure password. Now you've done that. Okay, now you don't get anything over here. No notifications, nothing. You're onboarded. There is no welcome message. There is no successful message. There is
Exactly.
no
Exactly.
confetti being blasted. Okay, boss, you've done a good job. There is no appreciation over there. Now, no, without any appreciation, I want you to join WhatsApp group, Telegram group, and Facebook group because you are supposed to keep in touch with me over there. And if you don't do all of this, your 500 rupees is wasted.
Exactly.
And now, if you
Exactly.
want support, just email me. I'll take my own time to respond. I'm like, boss, this doesn't seem right because this seems very right on probably Harshad's end, but doesn't seem right on Hanut's end, who is trying to be a customer and who is being affected in
Absolutely.
terms of business. Harshad directly, even not even indirect, it's direct effect, right? So that's what we are focusing on. So yeah,
Awesome.
that is something that we are definitely working on. That's where the connected and the next gen word comes in. And popularly, since you also mentioned a very good thing that there is to be a difference between influencers and you guys. So that's where we are also, telling very clearly that Miho is meant for knowledge entrepreneurs to
Yes.
create, grow, and manage online businesses, and not just for creators. Because creators are different types, but you guys are knowledge entrepreneurs who are going to change the way country or the world looks like going
Yes.
further and making education more accessible. So that's where we want to be playing a good role in helping you guys as well.
No, I'm sure, Hanuj. I mean, as you said, if you're making the students' journey very easy, and they also should not worry about the tech part, they should worry about the content. They should learn from the content actually. So you are definitely helping us in our missions. Yes. Yes.
Definitely. Sounds good, Harshad. This was a very insightful conversation. I hope audience would also learn a lot of things from you. Anything that you would like to add? Like generally, I ask for one book recommendation and one quote that you strictly religiously follow, or something that you think is right to follow.
Yeah. So, Hanuj, I mean, I'm a big follower of Swami Vivekananda. Actually, 12th Jan, which is just a couple of days away, is his birthday. We celebrate National Youth Day also in India. And I'm doing a special session for my students. The one thing, along this knowledge business journey, we many times will face the problem of self-belief, that will I be able to pull this off? Many times, people won't come, people won't pay. Many times, students don't take action. So many times we face this challenge of that, am I good enough? Am I, so this quote from Swami Vivekananda, that the earth is enjoyed by heroes, and be a hero, always say I have no fear. So I think that is something I always paste. I mean, I always write whenever I feel low. And I think you just have to trust yourself that you're being a hero of showing up, of helping someone. Even if you help one more person, I think your life's purpose is solved, right? Literally. So you're already doing that. you are already a hero. Just be a hero and have no fear. I think you are. This is the best decade for knowledge entrepreneurs, I'm sure, and you're at the right time at the right place. So.
And one book quickly, if it comes to your mind.
Uh, I think on the same thing, I think you just read Swami Vivekananda's. I read Granthavali, which is complete works of Swami Vivekananda over last 1 year. I know you might be looking for a smaller book. It is 4,000 pages book, but even if you read one chapter, I'm sure you will just be blown away by the kind of power he exerts on you through writing and through writing, which is 150-year-old. Like that. So I'm just blessed by him showering his strength. I mean, I just need that strength from him actually.
Nice.
And is I thanks so much, Hanush, for giving me this opportunity. But from the audience, I really would like your feedback. Okay, I could improve, where I'm going wrong, or anything you got some value from this conversation. I think the best place would be LinkedIn, I guess, for me. Even if
I'll
I
definitely put the
accept.
link in the description. Yeah.
I accept all the connection requests and I reply to all messages on LinkedIn. So please
That
drop me a
that's
message.
that's also a achievement in itself. Having 15,000 followers and being able to reply to each and every message is
Yes.
also an achievement. Thanks a lot for taking your time, Harshad. Thanks a lot for doing this for us. And I hope a lot of people got a lot of value from you. And I hope you also hear back from creators who can probably help you solve your challenges further. Looking forward to more such conversation. And obviously, there is a lot to learn. Probably we'll do a second session sometime soon in the future.
Thank you, Anuj, for these insightful questions and this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you.